Well, welcome back to another episode of The Bridge. You know, what our goal is in having these conversations is to be able to connect with community leaders, find out what's going on in the community and ways that the Potomac Valley Church and the Potomac Valley community can really engage and serve in a dynamic way. I am really, really grateful to be here with my good friend, my good new friend, Carlos Castro, who's the owner of Todos grocery store. And Carlos, thank you so much for having us in your store, in your office. We're super grateful for this time to be with you.
Yeah, my pleasure to have you here at my humble place. I must tell you that we just changed the name because I think it's more appropriate to call it Todos Neighborhood Market. So, because that's what we have become, a neighborhood grocery store. So, we're going to make our debut with the new store in Southbridge.
That's outstanding. So, Todos Neighborhood Market.
That's correct.
That's awesome. And, I really appreciate how you're able to really bring the world together and for us to be able to connect. But tell us just a little bit about your story and who you are and just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, I was born in El Salvador and to a very poor family. My parents, my mother never went to school. My dad went to school when he was an adult and I already married to my mother. He was able to manage to make it to sixth grade. But he was a very smart young man, and he brought us up with a lot of values. And, he had these things like the power of hard work, of the power of honesty, of, perseverance and all that kind of stuff. And one thing that it was good on him, it was giving back, helping people in need. So that was big on him, and he put it on our head, kind of like you need to help others even if they're not asking. As long as you know that they have a need, you're supposed to get into action and don't even wait for a thank you. Just move on, God will, reward you somewhere along the way. Maybe not to you, but maybe to one of your loved ones. So, so I think I am the recipient of a lot of good, kind-hearted people that helped me along the way since 1980, which is when I arrived in the U.S., fleeing the Civil War. And I think a lot of people helped me because of the thing he did when he was helping others,
Wow. So that's really a legacy of your father helping others, teaching you the power of hard work, the power of really caring about and serving and meeting needs. You see the fruit of that in your own life.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so, all he said is, we have nothing other than your functioning body and a good head on your shoulders. So, make the best out of it. And I graduated with honor out of high school.
Awesome.
Went on to industrial engineering. I couldn't finish because of the Civil War.
Right.
And actually, when I left El Salvador, my dream was to come to the U.S. if I could make it through the border, because I was coming illegally through the border. And maybe spend a couple of years learning English, because I loved English since third grade when I was going to school.
Right.
And then go back to El Salvador. But, the war took about 20 years. And, I found some ways of surviving here and found some great people that helped me along the way in the U.S. And that's why we're here. So Todo Supermarket was created to get my wife out of cleaning houses, doing, janitorial work and having our own business, not knowing what we were getting into. So it was a big learning lesson. It took us a while to really get it going, but I'm glad that we did, because we have become more like a pillar in our Latino community.
You are a pillar in Prince William County, without a doubt.
And we feel proud of that fact that we not only are growing as a family and as a company, but we are providing opportunity to grow to our team members, and we're proud of that too. And they know it. So we have people that have been with us for 20 years plus, working, and they manage the store for us, and we have managers and in both stores that do their job without us being on the back, which is lovely, because it's respect, loyalty.
Right.
but because also they feel that it's a win-win. We're all winning,
Right.
we're all growing. So another thing that we do as a company is provide opportunity for high schoolers.
Okay.
Mainly with the purpose of helping the parent, because
Okay.
when you're nurturing a kid that is going to school, sometimes they have their own customs. You need
Right.
to teach them how to work, how to behave, how to how to deal with adults that are not the adult at your house or at school. So that's a function that I thought it's wonderful. I had to sell it to my team because it's a challenge. You're dealing with kids. But now
I have two of those kids, so I understand. I have an 18-year-old and a 13-year-old. So I just as a parent of two, a young man that just started college and a young lady that's in middle school, I'm really excited that you have those kind of opportunities.
Yes, we do, and they are, they are nurturing in a way, because by the way, most of my personnel, and not because I wanted this way, I think God decided that that's the way it is, are women.
Got you.
80%.
Wow.
Of my entire team is women, and 99% of my management team is women.
Wow. That's outstanding.
So,
I mean, that's incredible empowerment and opportunity for women.
Yeah, a lot of faith in women. I was raised that way when I was going to elementary school, and I was taught to respect my teachers, and most of my teachers were female, and parents and all that. So it was easy to really give women the respect and the opportunity so that they can, thrive within our company.
Wow.
So that's the kind of thing we did. Before we did the store, I was doing, I started as a dishwasher and, laborer and janitor and whatever I could get my hands on until I could get my own company and do remodeling. Then I gave it up just to join my wife because we were flunking on the store. So, we had to abandon the construction practice and concentrate in making the business survive, So.
Wow, that is such an incredible story because, I think, when we're talking before off air, that's you could make a movie off that story. I mean, your family making the choices that they made, your father instilling those values in you, and you starting this store, Todo's neighborhood grocery store, in order to meet needs for your wife not having to work for anyone else. You decided instead of you working for someone else, we're going to start our own company. And we're going to start a store that now is a pillar in our community. I mean, as I've met with leaders, and my family and I, we've been here for 7 years, and I've met with leaders across the political spectrum in a number of different settings. Your name has come up consistently over the 7 years as a leader to talk to. And as we were talking about, who should we talk to as we're really trying to engage and understand what's going on in the community? You are at the top of the list of people that we should sit down and have a conversation with. And so I'm so inspired by your story. Now, I understand that you actually have an autobiography that's both in Spanish and English. So tell us a little bit about this autobiography, because this is an epic story that I think we need to unpack for a couple of chapters.
Yes, back in 2007, 2008, when we had the rule of law political fight here in Prince William County.
That was an ugly, ugly moment.
I got involved, and the bad part is I was being shot from both ends because I tried to help my people, but there are things that I couldn't, I couldn't agree with them, and I kind of opposed them, and so that gave me a little bit of, heartburn for a while, and you figure out, actually at some point, you're probably gonna love to hear this. At some point, when my little said, "Dad, let's get out of here," I said, "No, baby, we're not gonna get out of here. We're gonna fight."
Right.
And then I asked my Lord, if I'm wrong, let me know.
Right.
If I am right, please let me know. I need to know.
Right.
And believe it or not, the next day, I got a call from a priest.
Wow.
And he said, "Carlos, I know you're going through hard times, but what you're doing is right. I want you to know.
Right.
And then I got a call from a pastor that, I had met at another church. And he said, Carlos, I'm worried about what's going on. Let's talk. And then we talk. And at the end of our conversation, he said, just keep on going. That's what God wants you to do. So, that was very, very emotional moments.
Yeah.
Very difficult moments.
Yeah.
But through that process, I met a community leader, an American lady that told me we were meeting as a retreat, trying to figure out what to do here at George Mason University on the Potomac River.
Mm-hmm.
There is a building, a faculty, a property that they use for this kind of event, to relax and to think and to. It's a beautiful setting. So she convinced me to write the story.
Wow.
And she helped me to write it. And because she's American and she didn't speak Spanish, we wrote it in English.
Right.
But then, I decided that I needed for my Latino, community. So
absolutely.
I paid somebody to translate it into Spanish.
Right.
And now the book it's out. I'm actually gonna show it to you before I leave. I should have brought it in.
Sure.
And I want to use that to do what I've been doing, but I've been doing it without a book, which is, try to convince people that the solution of their problem is within themselves, that they need to have faith that there is a God that exists, but even if they don't have faith on a God, they need to have faith on themselves to be self-sufficient. That was my dad teaching. So that's the only thing I can teach. So this book, I think, is going to be it's going to help me to drive the message.
Right.
And I want to do that by the time I retire, but I hope, it's sometime soon. I'm 67.
I hear you.
So I had it translated back to English.
Okay.
And we're working on the editing and looking at all the, the errors and stuff. So hopefully by the end of the year, I hope to have it ready to go to print.
That's awesome. Well, I look forward to getting one of the early copies when you go to print, and I look forward to seeing the copy you have now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I look forward for you coming to Potomac Valley Church and being able to share this story. We have a growing Latino community within our church. And, as I mentioned to you before, we're a very racially diverse, very politically diverse congregation here in Prince William, and we're reflective of Prince William. But we were talking about this before. Prince William County is Virginia's first majority-minority county. And we're the second largest jurisdiction in Virginia, but we're also, one of the 10th largest jurisdictions in the country. And so you were sharing with me beforehand a little bit about that. Tell me a little bit about your thoughts about how we need to get this right here and how you think that will affect Virginia and also the U.S.
Yeah, I think 2007, 2008 community crisis made our community a little bit more resilient.
Right.
Because it brought some sympathy for other groups, like African Americans and Latino came together to work together in a community, for better or worse, to get rid of some people that are in power that were not doing a good job, and to support each other in many other aspects of life, not just politics, but that came out of that terrible period.
Right.
So, the way I look at Prince William, and the census said the same, we're the 10th more diverse counties in the country.
We are.
That's huge. So we, in a way, are left. We either going to make it or we're going to fail.
Right.
If we fail to work together, I think somebody already said, the debacle or the what is the word I'm trying to reach? The failure as a society of the new Americas is not going to come from a foreign country invading us and tearing us apart.
It's not.
It's actually going to be people. It's going to be us.
Right.
You know, so in order to prevent ourselves to get to that point, I think we need to continue to do what we have been doing now. You know, like African Americans, Latinos, and other cultures working together.
Right.
Not spreading hate.
Right.
Message of hate has to be out. We need to be spreading message of love. You know,
and building bridges.
And I love the name of your program.
Building bridges.
I know the name of your program because it's that. To me, it's like we need bridges. We need to, you know, there is some abyss that we have created with the polarization of the political system. So we need people that can build bridges.
Right.
Without any particular political interest. Just love for humanity, love for our neighbors, you know, love for who we are, you know, a society that is meant to be successful, not to be fighting like in the Middle East, you know. You have seen all around the world people killing each other for centuries. We don't want to get there. So in order for us not to get there, we need to build bridges. We need to look at our neighbor with admiration and empathy. Right. You know, because that's the only way you can really see the real person in front of you. Right. If we already have the stereotype and the bad thoughts about it, you know, we're destined to fail. So Prince William County can teach the world, you know, how we can actually be not only a multicultural county, but a intercultural county. Right. So because I want you to respect your culture, your way of thinking, your person, you know. Right. And I need you to respect mine. So we're gonna be individually proud of who we are. Right. But we have to also be proud that we're brothers and sisters and we can work together. Yep. You know, it's simple, but when the politicians get a hold of that, of anything, that they know they can drive a wedge between the communities, they do it, and they do a good job. Right. Unfortunately, you know, and it is on our shoulders to make sure that they don't continue to do that. Right. That any people that is divisive and that did not get out of the community need to be out of office, out of power. Right. And we have seen a lot of samples, you know, that things that happen, and we're not going to discuss politics, but we just need to continue to do what we're doing good, you know, getting rid of bad people and putting in place, you know, the good people that can actually not put things in my favor, put things in everybody's favor. Right. So we're all a, you know, happy community living and working together.
Yeah, that's so critical that we really bring things together. And, you know, our faith is what informs our conviction.
Exactly.
And, you know, just like your father taught you the value of hard work and the value of giving back to the community, my father in the same way taught me that it was critical for me to give back to the community and for me not to simply talk about things being different, but he taught me to roll up my sleeves and get involved.
Yeah, exactly.
And to use whatever gifts that I have to get involved. And I really appreciate how you've really been committed to serving and getting involved in the community. Tell me a little bit now about your new store that you're opening up, because it's in my neighborhood. So I'm really excited about this. So tell us about the new store and what we should expect from, this is Todos Neighborhood Market.
Yeah. Well, you know, we paid a lot of money to a company and we sat them down and we said, look, we are Latinos, but we are in a multicultural community. So we want to reflect the community. We want to, when somebody walks in, doesn't matter what culture is, that they feel invited. Right. And they went to work and they, you know, again, you know, trusting the wisdom of women, you know. I had them all here and they all look at it, oh, that's wonderful. I go, really? Right. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know if I like it because I am with my Latino, you know, festive, kind of like Jamaican, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Colors,
exactly.
But I go like, oh man, that's kind of like Dad, isn't it? No, doesn't seem alive. I don't know. She said, trust me, you ask us, you're paying a lot of money for us to do this for you.
Right.
And so I worked and I look and I'll go like, okay, I hope it's going to be okay.
Right.
Now, when you walk into that store, and you can do that now,
okay,
you see the colors.
Right.
And the decor and everything. It's not crazy, just some words and little things. But I have other people from other cultures and other races going, oh my God, that's so wonderful.
Wow.
Really, is it?
Wow, wow.
I mean, it's not going to be all my taste. So this is my customer. And like my manager said, this is not for you, okay? So this is for the people. So get yourself out of it and trust us,
Wow.
So, and I tell my wife, if I'm at home, you're telling me what to do. If I'm at work, they are telling me what to do. So,
you're just learning to do what you're told.
Right, yeah.
Well, I'm really excited that your new stores you're opening it will be just that. It'll be Todos. It'll be for the world.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
So it'll definitely continue to be for the Latino community.
Yeah.
But you're saying that whatever culture you come from, this is really a store for the world.
Proud of. They're going to be proud of.
Okay.
And it's going to be a mix between an American grocery store, an international store, and a club.
Wow.
So we're going to have big packs and,
wow.
So people can save money by buying bigger. That's why they created the clubs around here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
you're saying like Costco or Sam's Club.
Exactly.
That kind of, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, but that's okay. You just said it, so it's like
like the other groups.
Like
the other groups.
No, but Sam, DJs, all those clubs.
Okay.
So my hope is that people don't need to go hopping from store to store.
Wow.
They can get almost everything they want from our store. Like Salvadorans, Latino people from El Salvador in particular is so proud. They go like, oh man, this is our store. So very proud of it. Yeah. So they're gonna be proud of that one. I don't know if they're gonna love the color, but the color looks so elegant, so beautiful.
Wow. Okay.
So the idea is that we're gonna create that idea, that model that can be replicated in other communities.
Okay.
So now the fight is to finding staffing,
So staffing, okay.
Yeah.
So this is something...
Staffing from different cultures so that everybody is represented there,
Wow. Yeah, I know that's been a challenge that everyone's been dealing with, that you were mentioning beforehand. And so, for everyone that's in the Potomac Valley community, this is what Mr. Castro is saying right here is there are jobs to be had.
Absolutely.
And there's great work and a great work environment and a community that will reflect really a store that will reach out to the entire community and really seek to do that.
Yeah, that's our hope. There's a lot of learning, and they probably forgive us. And we ask them, hey, is this what you're looking for?
Right.
What else can we do to make sure that this is your place, to shop? And, we never stop learning, right, until we die. So we continue to learn.
I really appreciate your commitment to that. So now that we're talking about food, I wanted to invite you for Easter Sunday, so April 17th, 2022, God willing, we are going to have our great banquet. And what we've done in years past is we've barbecued 100 pounds, I'm not 100, but 1,000 pounds of meat. So we do a big barbecue and we offer free groceries to anyone that needs groceries, a meal for the whole community, but it's not a charity meal. It's actually a meal where everyone sits down together. So if you are from a home with lots of means, or you're home with limited means, we all sit down and we share a plate of food together. Yeah. And and what we found over the years, I'm a big meat person. My grandfather was a butcher, so we will have vegetables. We'll have a diversity of things to provide, and I'm going to take a page out of your book here. We want to make sure that everyone can feel like their culture and community is reflected. So I wanted to invite you and your family, and definitely please extend the invitation to your staff. We'd love to be able to cook for you on Easter Sunday.
Oh, we'll be honored to come, and also to contribute to enrich the food, the table, and I had the question of whether it was barbecue ribs or was.
So I can tell you what we've done before.
We can get some ideas.
Yeah, so we need to talk. We need to talk because I know that you were saying that at your news store you have seafood, you have all sorts of things you're going to be doing.
Yeah.
So what we've done in the past is we've done. So my family's Jamaican, so we've done about 200 pounds of jerk chicken.
Okay.
So I know you visit Jamaica,
yeah.
So we'll have some jerk chicken. We also have dry rub barbecue. We have some traditional barbecue. We just have some regular, just grilled chicken. We've done, in years past, we've done burgers and hot dogs and all the sides.
The traditional.
But honestly, I'm really inspired by this conversation with you, that we need to ensure that what we offer is a reflection of our community, so we can offer food from quite maybe a broader variety of food even.
I think maybe we can have some, Colombian style pork belly.
Oh, man.
Or Salvadoran pupusas or chicharrones, right? What
chicharrones?
Do we call chicharrones?
Okay. Oh, man. All right. Okay. So you've inspired me. I said, for me, our prayer when we did this is we looked in the scriptures and Jesus says, when you throw a banquet, invite the poor, the lame, invite everyone to come.
Yeah.
And we said, most churches on Easter Sunday, everybody gets up and dresses up in their best.
Yeah.
But for us, we wanted to, put on an apron and serve the community. And so I'm really excited that we get to do that.
Yeah,
we get to do that.
Serve.
Well, I appreciate that. I look forward to us serving together.
Absolutely.
I really do. And
that'd be great. That's a great place.
I'm really encouraged just by your life's example, your commitment to your wife and to your family, your commitment to this community. And, it's really amazing how the Holy Spirit really moves, because the very things that you're talking about are the things that inspired us to start this conversation, The Bridge. Because you're right, we live in a lab. Prince William County is a lab.
Yeah, it's a lab, yeah.
And we cannot afford the forces of division to divide us. We've got to learn, when you have everything you have, you don't need to build higher fences. You need to build a broader table.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful for you making sure that you build tables and that you help put things on tables too. So thank you for that.
My pleasure. And I tell you, I knock on doors, and sometimes it's hard to convince people to change their way of looking at life and looking at people, whether you're poor or not. And I'm saying that because I grew up in El Salvador, and poverty is basically make you the recipient of discrimination from somebody that.
Yes.
The way I say it, that they think they have money, they pretend to have money, or they really have money. But the thing is that if you're poor, they kind of want to wipe you out, and not everybody, but you can tell the difference how you're treated. So, I always ask my Lord, said, please, if I ever make money, if I ever become a wealthy person, please don't let me lose my humbleness, because I live that, and I use that as a lesson, so that when I look at my team, it's like I see myself reflected in it, trying to make ends meet, trying to work. So, and one of the things my dad always said is that work hard, forget about the money will come. And how right he was, to the point that I really, if you ask me, I don't know how much money I have. I don't really care. I know that we're making a living. I know we're living. So it's all about the happiness doesn't quite come from money. It's the satisfaction you get from serving others, from making somebody else happy, helping somebody conquer their dreams, That's the real happiness. That's when you feel like I can go to bed and sleep a good night's sleep and feel proud of myself, So it's, after 67 years, I guess you learn a little bit. And you're always learning. And of course, life and the devil is always there. So you have to keep focusing on our Lord's teaching to make sure that you keep straight and going toward, a happy ending.
That's exactly right. Well, I'm really grateful today that we're able to have this conversation. And I'm grateful that our community is able to listen in on this conversation. And I genuinely hope we can continue to have many more conversations, because you have a genuine heart for God and for the people and for our community. And we are really at a crossroads, Carlos, in many ways as a community.
Yeah.
And what we do next matters.
Absolutely.
And so I think people of goodwill like yourself have to find ways to come together. And I appreciate that you didn't decide in 2007, 2008 to just leave, that you decided to stay and fight. And I'm grateful that God's allowed us, 7 years later, we're able to move here. And we've been here now for 7 years. And our church actually got started. The Potomac Valley Church got started in 2007.
Oh, really?
So that's when our church got started. Right in the middle of all of it. And so, and we're really trying to be a force for good in the community. But I appreciate your example with your business, with your family, with the work that you're doing. And I can't wait for you to come and share your book with us, and for you to, be able to, maybe we can have some time where you can do some question and answer and share more about your life. And
no, absolutely. Whenever, that'd be great if it helps, and I'm going to try to hurry up to get the English version done. Because in the book also, I talk about those moments, 2007, 2008, that were very painful for our community. And we need to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Right.
That's bottom line.
That's right. Well, the key is not building fences, but building bridges.
Yeah, and thank you for being a messenger of God, and and getting the right ideas in front of the people, because that's what we need to do. There's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so count me in.
All right. Well, I'm excited about that. So on that point, I just want to thank everyone for being a part of this conversation. This has been one more conversation here at the Bridge. We hope that you can take some time to do a little bit more research on what's going on with Todos Neighborhood Market, and that you'll be able to come and visit Todos, and many of you already do. And we look forward to you coming to the Great Banquet and joining us for the Great Banquet in Easter of 2022.
Yeah, that's right around the corner.
It is right around the corner. All right.
Excellent.
Talk
Thank
to you soon.
so much.
Take care.
Appreciate it.